dear friends, it's Anna here. Welcome in my next video for Fabrika decoru. Today I will be creating a mixed media canvas. I start with coloring this paper sheet. It's a specialty paper made on a thick paper, so you can color it using inks and watercolors and glazes and whatever product you have. After you paint it, you can fussy cut the elements, and Fabrika decoru is selling a lot of sheets of this kind of paper. This one is from Magnolia Sky collection, and I really like those flowers, and I wanted to paint them using the purple colors. I am using a very fun product. It's a paint, it's a dry paint. The product is called the Magic Paint, and it's basically just a powder that you can activate with water, and some of the powders have this dust shimmer added, so they sparkle very pretty, and you can use it in various ways. I'm using them like watercolors by activating them with water, and I am using two paints to color the petals of the flower. The first one is called Purple Crystal, and this one has this shimmer added in. And the darker color I am using for the shadows is called Indigo, and it doesn't have the shimmer. I will leave you all the links in the description box of this video. Those paints are perfect if you travel because they won't spill. You can activate them with water, but you can also kind of use them like salt over the wet surface, and you will get really pretty effects using it. So if you are into the art journaling, it will be a perfect kind of media for experiments. And I'm also coloring the insides of the flowers using another magic paint called Lemon and a bit of aqua ink called Orange. And I also mixed yellow and indigo to create a green color because I was too lazy to find some, and the powders were already on my coloring palette, so it was just easier to do so. And after it's all dry, I am fussy cutting it. The quality of the paper that it's all printed on, it's quite well, but it doesn't allow you for much redoing, so you have to act fast. But the price is really, really good for this kind of an embellishment you can create by yourself. And as you can see, I am using canvas. The size is 8 by 8 inches, 20 by 20 centimeters. I will be using it upside down, so I will not use the side that I'm supposed to use for painting because it's already painted. It was some failed project, and I do not throw away canvases when I'm not happy with the result. I'm keeping them to use them in this kind of a project as a frame. And I am painting it all first using gesso. It's also from Fabrika decoru. It has the perfect thickness and whiteness, and I really like this product. And I am covering it with few layers because I want I don't want the color of wood show through the gesso. And now, using the stencil, it's a very old stencil from, I think it's from a Polish company called 7 Dots. I have it for years, and it has this damask pattern. So I wanted it to be a little bit of kind of baroque. Is this the word in English, baroque? I hope so. And I am applying a texture paste through this stencil. The texture paste is also from Fabrika decoru. It also has the perfect thickness. I really like this product because sometimes the paste is just too watery and it doesn't hold the shape well, but this one has this perfect composition and ratio water to this texture product. After after my texture paste is dry, and it's really important to wait it to dry because you will just dilute it with water, I am using once again the magic paint called Purple Crystal to create fun colorings over the frame. And as you can see, I just watered the frame and added the powder directly onto the frame. It creates very deep color on the place where it was added, and I wanted it to look like that. That's why I'm happy with the result. You could also dilute it with water on the color palette and then apply it, but you will get a lighter shade. And as you can see, the coloring highlighted the texture that I added to my project. And now using the metallic paint, it's a very fun paint. It looks like acrylic paint but has this metallic shimmer inside. The color is called Pink Shabby. I am just highlighting the edges of the frame and painting the inside. I'm not doing it perfectly, you know, so you can see the gesso showing through. I'm using a dry brush, so it leaves the brush strokes. And then I took a paint called Violet from the same line to highlight the edges even more and also add some color into the canvas inside my frame. As you can see, again, I used a brush that was already dry, so it helped me to create those kind of strokes, I would say. And the third product I'm using, it's a shimmer paint. So it's basically a transparent paint with a lot of shimmer added. So if you will paint it, it will leave you this shimmer, very shimmery, glittery surface. And I applied it with the paint, with the brush too. And the last product I'm applying, it's a metallic paint. The color is called Gold. And as you can see, I'm not adding a lot of it. I just want to highlight some of the elements, especially the damasks created by the stencil I used previously, and I'm using my finger to spread it smoothly onto the surface. I have this cute picture of me and Maya taken ages ago. She was tiny and sweet, and I want to use it on this frame. I added a little bit of gray paper from one of the baby collections from Fabrika Decor. I don't remember the name, the little one. I think it's the collection with tiny elephants, and I have the girl version, and I already made a frame using it in the butterfly shape, so you can look for another video on my YouTube channel. And I am adding a lot of cardboard under the picture. It's only 4 dimension, nothing else. So if you use any other type of dimensional tool, like maybe foam or foam squares, you can use it, but I think the cheaper and faster way is just to build the composition using the pieces of cardboard. As you can see, I'm trying to level the frame using the cardboard pieces. I don't want my picture to just fold into the frame. I want it to be held strongly because it will stand or hang on the wall. So if you don't add a lot of glue, it will just fall out. And I'm using the hot glue gun because I think it works best for those kind of projects. It dries pretty fast, so you can work fast adding another layers. And now I am building my composition. As you can see, I have a lot of flowers that I fussy cutted. I think they are magnolia flowers. And I also have this chipboard set from the same collection that I have the flowers I painted. You can also purchase papers and embellishments from this collection, die cuts, but I only chose those two. I want this artsy look and the fun texture created by the chipboard. They are very soft and delicate, and I am adding them into my composition. And as you can see, I am layering the painted flowers using different levels of cardstock, and you will get this very dimensional composition. Some of the flowers will be glued directly onto the canvas, some will be raised like for 3 layers of cardboard, some will be leveled above the picture, and I really like making those kind of projects with a very dimensional depth, and I like layering embellishments this way. I'm trying to add my flowers from the cardboard too. I'm also gluing them using the hot glue gun, but you have to be careful because you can add too much of the glue and it will be peeking from behind the cardstock, because it's, you know, it's empty inside, so it's just outlines. But I'm not so concerned about it because I will cover much part of it using my painted flowers, and I'm really liking how it's turning. You know, when I am making project like this, I never know if I will like it, if I will hate it, if I will stop doing it, and I also usually find myself adding too much, I would say, when it comes to mixed media, like I did with the frame. Maybe I should have stopped with the first layer only, and it would also look pretty. I never know, and I am always tempted to add more and more, because I think if I do not add more, it's kind of a weak mixed media, I would say. But I learned my lesson many times, and I know it doesn't mean that you are not a mixed media artist if you do not add like 20 layers. If you are happy with your first one, stay with your first one. Don't feel the pressure to add more and more and more and more, because you will just cover the first layer, the second layer, and it will turn out totally different that you intended it. So you really don't have to use that many layers. Maybe you don't, and you already know that, and I'm talking something boring to you, but this is something I struggled a lot with my mixed media projects, that I'm just adding too little, and you know, someone will look at this and say, this is mixed media, you only use like a 1 layer. I know it's not important what people say and stuff like that, but somehow I feel judged inside my mind for no reason, because no one ever told me that. But after a few projects that I ruined adding too much, I learned that there is the point that you have to stop and be happy what you have. Don't try adding more, because usually it doesn't help with the look of the project. I also embellished my project using some stickers from Great Paper collections, and I'm finishing it using this enamel dots, liquid enamel dots, I would say. You use it like other projects of this type. You just make a dot and you have to wait for it to dry, and I use the one in white color. And here are the few close-ups. Sorry for my mumbling about mixed media layers, but it wasn't much to tell about the project. I hope you like it. Don't forget to check the description box for links to the Fabrika Decoru shop, and they really sell awesome products with awesome prices, and they ship all over the Europe. Thank you for watching, and see you soon with another Fabrika Decoru project.